Hello indie fans, welcome to another episode of upcoming indie games we are excited for. My name is Nia, subbing in for Old Gamer Joe today, wishing you a happy new year and many wonderful indie releases in 2024. The following games are what we believe are the top 15 indie game releases for the week of January 8th through 14th, 2024. Before we jump into it though, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/idreamofindiegames for exclusive Discord access, podcasts, and game codes. Your community is waiting. And if you want to catch live streams of recent indie releases, check out our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/idreamofindiegames. I'm over there every Wednesday at 9 p.m. EST and can't wait to hang out.
Whoa, hey, sorry to cut you off there, Nia, but you stole my show and I'm not going down without a fight. Before we get into all the sweet indie releases with Nia for the week ahead, we've got to take a moment to thank our wonderful indie sponsor this week for helping to make this episode possible and supporting independent content. That's right, we're talking about Igor Vasilenko and Gleb Kononov, who will soon be releasing Elven City Simulator on Steam. This exciting simulation city builder puts you in control of an elven spirit who must restore a broken world. Building isn't the main focus here, however. While it is a major aspect of the gameplay, there's a massive emphasis placed on teaching your elven friends and guiding them on a path to either righteousness or despair. I choose despair. The game has roguelite elements, of course. So yes, should your settlement fall, that doesn't necessarily mean it's the end of the road for you. Your elves will need to eat, of course, so cooking is a must. You'll have to work day and night, mining resources to grow and prosper. Once you've completed one epic settlement, you can go right on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. You see what I'm doing here, but don't let things get out of control. You don't want to anger your elven friends. There are tons of challenges that you will face, a variety of landscapes to explore, and constant pressure being applied to you. But hey, don't feel pressured by me to add this one to your wish list. You can head right over to the Steam page right stinking now using the link in our description box below and play around with these elves for yourself because a full demo is available. That's right, you don't have to take my word for it. The Elven City Simulator demo is live. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and once again, a very special thank you to Elven City Simulator for sponsoring this video and supporting indie coverage. Check out the link to Elven City Simulator in the description box below and wishlist this one today. See ya!
First up, we have Archaelund coming out in early access on January 8th. A first-person open-world exploration game with turn-based and ranged combat experiences. Archaelund is a newly discovered land of promise for a world recovering from constant war and strife between the four kingdoms. Collect party members and combine forces to battle monsters across the land. Archaelund will offer an intense progression system and be heavily focused on combat and strategy. There are tons of folks to interact with, a massive amount of quests, and a story rich with history and tragedy. RPG adventure fans should certainly add this one to their wish lists. Path of Survivors is up next, also coming out on January 8th, a bullet heaven roguelite with a funky beat and sound effects reminiscent of old arcade games. Discover new heroes, abilities, and equipment to create an unstoppable force and defeat waves of enemies. For a bullet heaven game, this release seems to get highly complex with the over 1,000 nodes passive tree and leveling up to enable up to 6 classes with 36 abilities. There is a demo available on Steam, so if you've unlocked everything in Vampire Survivors and are just itching for another auto battler, this one might be for you. If you've been wanting to start making your own craft beers, take the first step with Beer Factory, releasing January 10th. This business simulation management game takes you from getting your first coffee of the day, critical for any serious brewer, to unloading the truck, crafting the perfect beer, keeping the brewery up to code, bottling, and sending your creation out into the world. There is a free prologue available on Steam if you want to get a feel for the gameplay. It reminds me a bit of Gas Station Simulator, so if you enjoyed that, take a look into Beer Factory. Just try to stay sober while playing, alright? Heavy machinery should not be operated while intoxicated. Coming to us from publisher East Asia Soft, up next is Ikkarus and the Price of Sin, which has already been released on Steam. Now it's heading over to the Switch on January 10th. In this dating sim visual novel, you play Ikkarus, a hero turned tavern owner who needs to pay off his debt of 50,000 gold, and maybe find love along the way with your choice of orc, demon, or human. When you aren't wooing your partner, collect ingredients in card-based battles, or complete side quests for more drinks, gold, or resources. While it doesn't seem like a ton of people played this game upon release, those that did seem to have rated it positive. Ikkarus and the Prince of Sin also has a demo available on Steam, so if you want to test it out before grabbing the Switch version, give it a go. Our second business sim on today's list is Cafe Owner Simulator, releasing on Switch on January 10th. Battle critters, hire employees, build the perfect menu, and fend off the occasional rascal. Starting a restaurant can be a little expensive, so you also have the option to complete side jobs around town, so you can afford to make a restaurant that's all your own. It seems like there is a simulator for just about everything nowadays. It makes me wonder what they will come up with next. Next up is another Switch release on January 10th, Cynthia Hidden in the Moonshadow. Explore Tasana Valley as Cynthia Strandborg, a huntress skilled in archery. This fully voice-acted, story-driven game looks like it involves quite a bit of puzzle solving using your bow, sneaking around, climbing, and even some ziplining. The world is beautiful with eye-catching colors, but is a self-proclaimed short game, so don't expect to spend too much time with this title. Let's hope it's short and sweet. Moving on to our January 11th releases, Metroidvania Momodora Moonlit Farewell is releasing on Steam. This is the 5th, and as the name suggests, final release in the Momodora series. But the developer does mention that the game was created to be enjoyed without having to catch up on the existing 10+ year lore. You play as Momo, whose sole task is to save your village from demon hordes. Easy enough. The bosses in the trailer all look so unique from each other, and I can't wait to see what attacks each of them brings to the table. Back to our simulation games, War Hospital, a medical management sim set in World War I, releases on January 11th. You must manage a British field hospital and do your best to save your patients. The first harrowing decision is choosing who you can successfully care for and who you must deny medical care. For those you do nurse back to health, you then hold their destiny in your hands as you decide whether to send them back to the trenches, to headquarters, or release them from duty. Choose wisely as your decisions can impact soldier morale. On a drastically lighter note, Wild Seas releases on Switch on January 11th. For generations, a crocodile family has been responsible for keeping the 5 islands protected by using the Great Jewel. And now your crocodile must protect the jewel and save the 5 islands from pirates bent on conquering the world and stealing your family heirloom. Use the prepare stage to build defenses around the jewel and your staff to bat away enemy bullets during waves in this cute and simple tower defense game. Another tone shift, but a beautiful game nonetheless, Grotto releases on consoles on January 12th. As the local soothsayer, your tribe starts coming to you for guidance in their time of need. Read bones and constellations, but be careful as your interpretations and advice can alter your tribe's future. Grotto is another game that released on Steam back in 2021 to very positive reviews. The unique artistic direction looks wonderful, and I'm intrigued to say the very least. Console players won't have to wait any longer. Bullet hell game Shinorubi is releasing on January 12th on consoles. With an electric soundtrack and attacks coming from all directions, this fast-paced game does not let you rest for even a second if you want to survive the 5 levels in classic mode. Starting with just 3 lives, choose your pilot and spaceship, protect your core, and destroy a dictatorship. Just another Tuesday on Shinorubi. The game still seems to be in early access on Steam from when it released back in January of 2022 with mixed reviews, so maybe do some research before diving in just to see what players have had issues with. Explore Borrelia as a charming frog named Chorus in Frogsong, coming to Switch on January 12th. In this world, tree frogs are expected to devote their lives to religious studies, but Chorus decides that they want to protect others and fight. This one is definitely for all my cozy gamers who just want to spend their days crawling around as a frog with a dream. Frogsong did release back in June of last year on Steam to very positive reviews, so now Switch players will be able to play before they croak. Another pixel art platformer coming right up, except this time you're a kitten rescuing a friend from artificial intelligence. Relatable. However, unlike Momodora, this platformer does not contain any fighting. Now, the developers did come out right and say this was a high difficulty precision platform game. Don't worry though, your efforts will be rewarded with 15 different cute hats to dress your cat in. As someone who loves cats and all things adorable, I greatly look forward to cuddling up with this one. A bit of a misnomer, Computer Repair Shop releases on Steam January 12th. While you do run a computer repair shop, you can steal parts, swindle customers, and hack their bank accounts, as long as you don't get caught. The trailer did seem a bit all over the place, as you can also gamble, compete in robo-wars, and go to nightclubs. It'll be interesting to see how this simulation game plays out. The last time I went to a computer repair shop, I was certainly swindled out of some money, so maybe this game is a bit of a life sim too? And it's always interesting to see what comes out of the indie scene, that's for sure. And our last release is HEARTSHOT, a Steam early access title coming out January 11th. This virtual reality spy thriller plants you in the Siberian tundra to try to break into a facility and discover the secrets of a global criminal organization. Use your spy gadgets to defeat enemies, hack into the mainframe, and get out alive so you can save the world. And that's all we have for you in this week's episode of upcoming indie releases. Let us know if you're planning to check out any of these games, or if you have already, what'd you think? As always, thank you so much for supporting independent content. Head on over to patreon.com/idreamofindiegames where you can gain Discord access, early ad-free shows, shoutouts at the end of every video, and even free games depending on the tier. Catch me every Wednesday over at twitch.tv/idreamofindiegames where we'll explore many of the indie games featured in our videos. and I will see you soon for more indie gaming.